You're watching The New Stack Makers, a podcast for people who develop, deploy, and manage at-scale software. For more information and articles about at-scale technologies, please visit thenewstack.io. Now enjoy the show. Hey everyone, we have a discussion here, actually, that would be a little bit different than most discussions that we have, because we're here with some people who are deaf. And this is really the first KubeCon I can remember where there's been a community focus on people who are deaf and maybe have other disabilities. And so it's really very welcome to see. There's one question I want to get to is like, how has it been at conferences for you as a deaf person? And what are does it prevent you from going to conferences? And what is it that you need at a conference so you can go and other people who are deaf can go as well?
So I've been to several different conferences over the years, and I would say various conventions also. One of the things that we really need is sign language interpreters. The reason is because I go around and do I work in the room and kind of navigate through, and I want to have various conversations with the vendors here. Maybe I want to do some talks with Buoyant, for example. They created Linkerd, so maybe I want to go have a conversation with them. And so I need sign language interpreters in the mix for that. Captions won't help for on-the-moment type things. If I want to start networking and go to the bar and I want to interact with folks after we're done with the conference for the day, things of that nature, interpreters are really nice to have. They go where I go. So that's a really nice thing that we like to have. And then the keynotes here have been amazing. They've got captions on the screen, and it's great to have that to be support for the interpreters and with the interpreters, because some sign language with tech words can be a little bit challenging. So having the captions there so we can see, it's sort of a good fallback to have both of those things available. But of course, the conference has been amazing so far. It's my first time here, so being at KubeCon and the experience here has been amazing. It's more than what I expected. They gave us interpreters, they gave us captioning, they gave us resources and provided anything that we needed.
And so, what are you learning from this show? What are some of the things that you've really discovered by having this, by having people here who are there to support you as well? What are some of the discussions that you've had, some of the learnings that you've had?
The community here, really, that has been amazing. Everyone who's come up and asked us for help, how can we help, making things more accessible and easy for you guys. There's really been opening up to learning, and everyone here is really willing to learn more about what they can do to contribute to help. So that really has been amazing. Same with, it's like a fly attracted to a light. You know what I mean? It's we just get people coming up to us and say, oh, I have a deaf daughter, or, oh, I have a deaf uncle or aunt, or whatever it may be. And they come up and they start chatting with us, and then they are reusing their signs that they might know, or, learning new words by communicating with us. So really it's inspiring, it's fun to be around and interact with people in that way. So it's really, the community here is, like she said, it's just been amazing.
So when you're talking to people and trying to learn something, you have an interpreter there with you most of the time or all the time?
Yep, that's the whole point. Yeah, we weren't expecting that from the beginning, but we got it, which was great. They provided that, and we've got several of them here for us. It reduces the friction in terms of communication. Sometimes when you have communication with, written language, it takes a while, to go back and forth and communicate. With an interpreter, it's just almost the same time you would be getting the message across as a hearing to a hearing person. If you wanted to do their pitch, their sales pitch, they have the opportunity to do that. So things like that, if there's no interpreter, they can't really do their pitch in the same effective way. It's a little bit hard sometimes, or it could be awkward, or it takes a long time. So it's really nice to have that.
Now, it's clearly important to be able to have accessibility at a conference. And the question I really have is, what are some misconceptions that people should be aware of about people who are deaf, just generally who are in tech and who are developers?
Some misconceptions might be that deaf can't be Kubernetes developers, for example. It's like, no, we've got a few who are and work on Kubernetes platforms. So really, we're here, we're ready, we're able. So I think that's one of the biggest things. We're natural-born problem solvers. And the reason behind that is because we've got communication barriers. So we have to find ways around it. And we go through email, maybe Slack, any other thing, Teams, whatever people are using to communicate with the rest of the team. Of course, bringing in a sign language interpreter occasionally for various things that we may need, but really that's what I would say, yeah.
How are you a natural-born problem solver?
Well, being deaf, we have to solve problems and educate folks how to communicate with us. So really, most of the time, it's solving your problems. We've been doing that for many years. So now, finally, the effort that's being put in and understanding how to provide accessibility and accommodations for us makes a big difference. Yeah, and remember that hearing people don't know sign language. True. And we know it. We can speak maybe somewhat, a little bit, but not like hearing people can or like these two can. So, there's varying levels, but we get by and we navigate that space.
How does that impact your work as a developer?
For me, personally, a lot of people don't think that I'm able to do it or that particular job. Sometimes they'll give me like, oh, you can do that. Don't worry about this part over here, though. So that's kind of one of those things that there's the misconception that we can't do the job just like everyone else. Yeah, and I would say for me, almost 25 plus years in software engineering and the industry, and I have faced several issues along the way, especially when it comes to hiring. Some people, like to change jobs every 2 or 3 years, and some of those up their earning power by going through different jobs. I choose in general not to do that. My coworkers that I know how to communicate with, I'm familiar with them, they're familiar with me, we can interact, and I value that portion of my job, so I tend to stay in one job longer. People jump around to get promoted and do all those type of things, but I stay at one job. It's a little bit harder to get promoted as fast than if you jump around. Also, if you jump around, will I land, in a new job where they give me the nice people or the understanding people? Will they be there? I don't know. So with that, it's at my current job, I have great people that I work with. I love them and they love me, and so we interact really efficiently and really great. And so I think that I would say the challenge to all employers out there, if I could make a statement, hire a deaf person. And, if you have a deaf person there, promote them. And get more role models in the spotlight and in the STEM space.
How does that make you, how does it being deaf make you a better developer?
Nobody can talk to me, so I can focus. If I'm in an office setting, something like that, I don't hear what's going on behind me, so that's a benefit. You don't have to overhear any of the bullshit. So, or the boss maybe, or whatever, they can't bullshit with you because we're just focused on the work and, the direct communication maybe, going all over the place or becoming political or anything like that, and the ambiguity. I'm just like, why are you being vague? Just tell me I'm deaf. So that's something I should mention too. Deaf people tend to be very blunt and very direct. And so if, what do you call those words? The interpreter, what do they say? Like transition words or so. And
maybe.
maybe, yeah, and things like that. I just tell them right away, don't add any of the fluff. Just give it to me.
How long have you been at Slalom then?
I've been at Slalom for almost 2 years now. So it's a great company, great people. I really love working with them. It's been great. And the clients that I work with, I teach them kind of how to interact with deaf folks, and then they kind of get a better idea. So for the most part, everybody's really comfortable. So I just tell people I don't bite. I really do.
Destiny, how long have you been in your job? And do you expect to stay there a while? And is it easier for you to do that?
Well, so I haven't got a job in tech yet. I've just been doing self-employment for a while, and I'm new to learning some of this stuff. But I'm a web developer, so I'd like to continue my career in that way.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you for having us. Absolutely, thank you so much. Thank you for letting us share our story also to the broader community. And of course, message for folks out there, if you want to reach out to us, feel free to find us on the CNCF Slack. Yep, absolutely. Twitter or LinkedIn, any of those. My name's out there, your name's out there, right? So, yep, exactly.
And hire deaf developers, right? Hire deaf developers.
Yes, right, absolutely.
Great, thank you so much. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, you can always subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're on all the major social media platforms. You can always find us at thenewstack.io. We hope to see you soon.